Welcome in today's English lecture. All of the students, your hearty welcomes early in the morning. Students, last lecture we have started the text poem 2.4. Have you earned your tomorrow? Last lecture we have discussed about detailed explanation about the poem, and today here we have to learn, we have to study about figures of speech used in the poem. Now student, it is very important, before learning figures of speech you must know what is meant by figures of speech. And so today we are going to discuss first what is meant by figures of speech. Now generally all of us, we wear various ornaments. Here I have written this word ornaments. Now ornaments means those ornaments we wear every day or we wear for particular function. In Marathi आपण त्याला अलंकार असं म्हणतो की आपण दैनंदिन जीवनामध्ये जे अलंकार वापरतो किंवा मुली कानामध्ये घालतात किंवा पायामध्ये घालतात. So these are the various types of ornaments. And why we wear these ornaments? This is the basic question. Now, generally people wear ornaments to beautify themselves. Just to increase our beautifulness, we wear various ornaments. And by wearing ornaments, we beautify ourselves. Right? In the same way, in language, we have various poetic devices. Now, here why we use poetic devices in our writing? Again here see, as we wear ornaments to beautify ourselves, in the same way, in language, to beautify the language, a writer uses various poetic devices. And these poetic devices are also called as figures of speech. So here, just to beautify the language, poet uses various poetic devices in the poem. Once again, students, I want to highlight here, as in our life we wear various ornaments to beautify ourselves. In the same way, in language, writer uses poetic devices or figures of speech just to beautify the language. It beautifies that particular language. And now there are number of figures of speech or poetic devices used by the writer in poem. Here in this particular poem also we have the number of figures of speech used by the poet. Now what figures of speech poet has used in this poem? We are going to discuss about these figures of speech. First figure of speech is used by the poet is interrogation. See, here poet has used these figures of speech: interrogation, alliteration, repetition, oxymoron. Then poet has used paradox. Number of these figures of speech are used by the poet. We have other figures of speech are also there. For example, we have simile, then we have metaphor, then we have antithesis, and poet uses, writer uses all these figures of speech in their writing just to beautify the language. Now, what is mean by alliteration? What is mean by repetition? What is mean by simile? What is mean by metaphor? Each figure of speech has its definition. Just have a look on one figure of speech, that is simile. Now here, what is mean by simile? Simile is a figure of speech used by the poet in the poem, and in simile there is direct comparison between two objects. Now what is mean by direct comparison between two objects? For example, one student from our class, he has to compare, or he is very encouraging, he is very courageous student, he is very clever student, and so that we have to compare our student from the class to any particular object. For example, we have to compare one student from our class with a lion. Then what will be our sentence? What will be our line? He is like a lion. He is like a lion. Here, that student from our class, he is compared with lion. How he is, how the boy is like a lion. Here, just listen carefully. Before lion, we used this particular word, like. He is like a lion. Here, poet directly compare. When we read this particular line, we get, or we understood. Here, poet or writer, he compared the boy with a lion because of this particular word, like. And so here we can say we have direct comparison between two objects, between boy and between a lion. Now students, another example, listen carefully. He is a lion in our class. Now here in this particular line also, poet compared lion with a boy, or boy is compared with a lion. But when we heard the second line, he is lion in our class, at that time we have to think little. We have to think in which two objects writer has compared, and then we come to know, oh, here boy is compared with a lion. And so in the second sentence, in the second line, we have indirect comparison between boy and that particular lion. But here in the first line, there is direct comparison. We don't need to think. We get clear idea. Writer has compared boy with lion. Okay, so this is how we have simile figure of speech, and then we have metaphor figure of speech. Then next figure of speech is interrogation. Now interrogation means when we ask questions, that is called as interrogation. Then we have alliteration. Alliteration means if in a line writer has used two words with the same letter, that figure of speech is called as alliteration. In Marathi, कुठल्याही दोन शब्दांची सुरुवात सारख्या अक्षराने होत असेल तर त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं? alliteration म्हटलं जातं. Then we have repetition. Here repetition means repetition of a word. See difference between these two figures of speech, alliteration and repetition. In alliteration we have repetition of one particular letter. That particular letter may be A, B or C or F, whatever. But if in that particular line two words are having or are beginning with the same letter, that figure of speech is called as alliteration. And repetition, in repetition we have repetition of the same word. Same word. alliteration मध्ये अक्षर रिपीट होतात, तर repetition मध्ये एखादा शब्द रिपीट केला जातो. Here in a repetition we have repetition of a Antithesis means two opposite ideas are explained in the same line. दोन विरुद्ध संकल्पना एकाच ओळीमध्ये जर वापरल्या असतील तर आपण त्याला अँटिथेसिस म्हणतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, डे opposite to day, night. Okay. Then big opposite to big, small. And if such two opposite ideas are explained in the same line, that figure of speech is called as antithesis. दोन विरुद्ध संकल्पना एकाच ओळीमध्ये वापरल्या असतील तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? अँटिथेसिस म्हणतो. आता मी तुम्हाला उदाहरण सांगितलं, डे दिवस, त्याचा विरुद्धार्थी शब्द नाईट दिवस रात्र, मोठा छोटा, हे काय आहेत? अपोजिट वर्ड्स आहेत, विरुद्ध शब्द आहेत, मात्र ते एकाच ओळीत वापरली तर त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं? अँटिथेसिस. Then another figure of speech used by writers is onomatopoeia. Now this figure of speech is very interesting, students. Why this figure of speech is very interesting? Because in onomatopoeia, poet use onomatopoeic words. Now what is mean by onomatopoeic words? This word makes us laugh, right, while listening. आपल्याला हसायला येतं की हा शब्द ऐकल्यानंतर. आहेच तसा तो इंटरेस्टिंग. ऑनोमोटोपोइक किंवा ऑनोमोटोपोइक वर्ड्स म्हणजे असे शब्द की जो आपल्याला कशाचा तरी त्यातनं आवाज करतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, खळखळाट. मराठीमध्ये खळखळाट म्हटलं तर हा आवाज कशाचा असतो? पाण्याचा. किंवा चिवचिवाट चिमण्यांचा, किलबिलाट पक्ष्यांचा. सो दीज वर्ड्स इंडिकेट साऊंड, एनी पर्टिक्युलर साऊंड. whispering sound, कुजबुजणे आपण त्याला म्हणतो. So whispering is onomatopoeic words, and if writer uses any such type of words in his writing, then that particular figure of speech is called as onomatopoeia. Okay, so here we have such number of figure of speech, and these figures of speech are used by the poet in their writing just to beautify the लँग्वेज. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, स्टुडंट्स, जसं आपण वेगवेगळे अलंकार परिधान करतो आपलं सौंदर्य खुलविण्यासाठी, अगदी त्याचप्रमाणे भाषेचं सौंदर्य खुलविण्यासाठी जे ऑर्नामेंट्स वापरले जातात त्यांना म्हटलं जातं पोएटिक डिव्हाइसेस. अँड ऑल दीज आर व्हेरियस ऑर्नामेंट्स, पोएटिक डिव्हाइसेस और फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच used by the poet in his writing, used by the writer in his writing. So this is all about figures of speech. Once again, I am going to revise the same thing. Today we learn about figures of speech. For that purpose, we have to understand what is mean by figures of speech. I have given you example of ornaments. As we use ornaments, we wear ornaments to beautify ourselves. In the same way, writer uses figures of speech in their writing just to beautify the language. And all these are the various figures of speech which we have discussed in short. So this is all about figures of speech used in the